Hey all, and thanks for popping into the channel. I did a video about Labour supporter silencing David Lammy, the Labour race grifting MP. And if you haven't seen it, please do so, it was epic. The guy wasn't completely right, but he was right enough to silence the gobshite that's Lammy. So I thought I'd show you the disgusting response he had to being told that ULEZ had destroyed a man's family. Wife crying, unable to drive anymore, unable to shop, etc. And this response proves that these people didn't just betray the working class, they actively despise us and work against us.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Listen to this.
Yeah, well, Mr. Lammy, congratulations on how gleefully you announced that. To be honest with you, I've had my wife in tears on the phone now. This has done us. It's finished. We have about £150 to £200 a month to spare. Some months on a good month, that's now going to go on a tax. I really weren't going to vote anymore because obviously the Tories and how much they lie. I always used to vote Tory. I weren't going to vote for anyone. I was actually going to give Mr. Starmer a go. With the support backing the mayor, he lost my vote immediately. I urge everyone to vote Tory now to really give you a taste of your own medicine. That's how livid I am this morning. This is now the final nail in the coffin, especially for me and my family anyway. Yeah, it's upset me, to be honest with you.
And John, how old's your car?
Zero empathy, zero compassion. You see that? His woes didn't bother him at all, didn't faze him.
What's the car you've got?
It's about 11 years old. 11 years old, family runabout, a Mitsubishi, nothing special, nothing flash. And now I'm being told by a mayor that it's no good.
All right. Well,
He's now imposed a tax on, I would say, hundreds of thousands of people.
There's a couple of things here, John. One, you've said that you're experiencing the cost of living crisis. It's tough. You've got two young kids. Well, the cost of living crisis that you're experiencing, isn't that down to the government that you say that you're prepared to vote for?
So the response is, not our fault, Governor. Suck it up. Now, yes, Bozo Johnson, the virtue signalling puppet, started the idea of ULEZ and clean air, and they were in charge causing the cost of living crisis with lockdowns. But you, Lammy, you were in opposition, and your opposition was harder, faster, wasn't it? So you were firmly on board. Lockdowns and a phony war have caused this cost of living crisis, and you were cheering it all on, and still do. Now, Bozo started ULEZ, but Labour have implemented it and expanded it, and are wanting to expand it to the whole nation, on top of the cost of living crisis. Scumbag misdirector.
That's how angry I am with your mayor.
Because
that's how livid I am.
So you've got the ULEZ charge. You've got kids.
Yep.
Who you don't want to have asthma, presumably.
So it's guilt trip next, everyone. It's a low blow, isn't it, to a man already worried about his family's future. You know what happens when men lose hope? There's a reason why men end their lives so often, and it's usually when they don't feel hope. And you've just added to that. I hope you're proud of yourself. You see why I brought this to you now?
Now,
you don't want to get ill.
Now, I'm not being funny. Even with the poor young girl that passed away, I really feel real bad for their family.
Yes.
But are you telling me that she's walking around in the streets of London and people are dropping down dead?
That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what they're all doing.
People have got very, very bad immune systems as well, David. You've got to admit this.
Ruin your life, get rid of your car, lose travel, and we'll charge you if you ever step out of line, because giving money to these swamp dwellers really clears the air, doesn't it? What's this? Air pollution increased in Glasgow as they imposed a low emission zone. So it's a stealth tax that doesn't actually work. Redistribution of wealth, isn't it? Next disgusting suggestion is coming up.
Come on now.
Hang on.
This has finished us. Labour is supposed to be the party that supports the working person.
Of course.
It is not. It has now squeezed us.
Of course. Yet they've implemented ULEZ expansions and the poorest suffer most, on top of the already high cost of everyday living.
Of course.
Squeezed us big time.
Sadiq says he's listening, and he's got to be listening. He's got a scrappage scheme.
Now, this is a scrappage scheme, everyone, that gives you less than the vehicle's worth. They don't tell you that, do they? They just make it sound fluffy. We'll give you loads and loads of money for your car, and then you can go and buy an EV one that probably will blow up on a ship. But what they're actually saying is that it's not a scrappage scheme at all. This isn't a scrappage scheme by Sadiq Khan. It's a pyramid scheme where he benefits Have a listen.
Have you checked that you do not qualify for anything in the scrappage scheme?
I'm not eligible. A 2,000 scrappage scheme for a vehicle that's worth £5,500 to £6,000. So there's another £4,000 hit that I'll have to take, David.
So this guy has got a cost of living crisis. He's now got ULEZ charges, and on top of that, he's going to have a loss of £4,000 because of the sale of his car to Sadiq fraudster. Now, I really hope all main parties get absolutely hammered as a protest vote. Let's organise and group behind a common goal to digitally slap these swamp fraggles as hard as we can, right across the face. Imagine if millions of us voted for someone other than the main parties. Let's see them squirm, shall we? Let me know what you think. I'd like to know your opinion. I did think I'd bring it to you because the response is much worse than the actual original call, isn't it? See you on the next one.